Hello everyone, please take your seats as we're about to start our next session. We're here streaming live from the ECOSOC Youth Forum at the UN SDG Media Zone in the New York headquarters of the UN. We have here with us Dr. Iyabo Ojikutu and Eglantina Zingg, and we have here as a moderator Aisha Sharif, who now has the floor, and thank you so much.
Teaching the youth.
So one of my first questions is going to be about young people, and especially my generation, as we enter fields of activism and sort of changing the world. And my question is, why have you focused your efforts on empowering young people?
You want to start with me? Or you want to start with you?
Both of you guys.
Well, why not? You know, the youth is the future, is the new generation. And, you know, the ball is on your ground, so good luck. I think we can do our part. In my case, facing the 17 challenges that we have, and it's such a complex scenario as a woman, as a Latina, in general, with everything that is threatening us in the world, I find a really simple solution that can connect us all, and that's football. And yes, absolutely, that ball will help form it. It speaks a common language. It doesn't discriminate from skin color, from beliefs, from abilities. It's a healthy competition, and its essence is collaboration. That's exactly what we're trying to promote in Proyecto Paz Latin America, which is the nonprofit that I founded and that I'm a president of.
Well, for me, I feel like more than half my life has really been around helping kids in so many ways. So I've been a pediatrician for 25 years, and I've also been a practice owner. So I've been treating kids, contributing to the health and well-being of children between the ages of 0 to 21 for 25 years. And I also own a business. I've been teaching and mentoring medical students also for almost 15 years. So I have two kids also who are in the youth age group. They're 20 and 14 years old. So I feel like I've been contributing in that sense to the well-being of children and just really trying to empower them. So when I see them in the office, I'm always trying to encourage them to be the best that they can be. And then I've been an author for the past, I guess, 1 year. I published my first book last year, and I actually launched it here at the United Nations in September of last year, talking about SDG number 16, which is peace, justice, and strong institutions. So really just using that platform as a pediatrician, as a business owner, and then now as an author and a blogger, to really just engage our youth and to encourage them to be the best that they can be.
You've mentioned sort of a collaboration, so do you think that young people should be working with older people to achieve the 17 goals to change the world? Because a lot of it is older people doing activist work and younger people doing sort of their activist work.
Well, absolutely. You know, collaborations is the essence. It's the only way that we're going to be able to achieve these goals. And these goals, we have to remember in the place we are. The United Nations was formed just to give the human rights, the justice for peace, for freedom. And we cannot take that for granted. So collaborations is essential between older people, younger people. It's humans, men, women, girls, boys. And I think if we don't work together right now, we could be in a very, terrible situation. We don't want that to happen. When I started, I was very young, and in a way, you have to have a lot of stand up. It's not up to the governments or to the leaders of a small part of our societies to make changes. Changes oftenly are made by common people, ordinary people that want to stand up and say, hey, that's wrong. And we want to change it, and we want to work together and just break those barriers of stigma. And working with media, my past 20 years of my career has been in media, and you see the power that media has to make behavior, the way we adopt behavior, the way that we interact with each other. And I think we're at a great moment. There's millions of people that can get connected with technology. And we can demand change, we can get together, we can create partnerships. there's no barriers, either if you're in Africa, in Latin America, in Argentina, in India. You can still work together, and that's exactly what we need to use the technology for. It's not for making it a war zone and criticizing and anything. It's about to work together, and that's what I think soccer does. Football, we call it football, but I think that's exactly what it does, and it reinforces that teamwork. It gives you a healthy competition. It improves your self-esteem, and I think for youth, and maybe you're going to tell me, because the title of her book is how to permanent happiness. And I believe sports is something that builds that permanent happiness. It improves your self-confidence, and when you have self-confidence, you're able to have differences and respect them, and be able to, we all have an extraordinary ability, and we just need to find that extraordinary ability, work on it. Obstacles, we're filled with obstacles every day of our lives. But, smile is for free. Just work on that smile. Go ahead, stand up, speak up, dare to dream. And I think that's the passion that youth has. And it will be very sad if we all become so flatliners and we don't care, and that lack of empathy that we can have. So I think it's very important that we all take action. This is not a UN agenda. This is an agenda for each and every one of us, for old, for young, for leaders, for not leaders, for everybody. It's not up to just one person to make a change. We all have to work together as a humankind.
That's so true. You said it all. So it's all about collaboration, and it starts within each of us. And really, that's what my book is about, really empowering each of us. Because if we're not all individually happy and peaceful, we're not going to be able to come together to foster world peace and no poverty and all this. Nobody's going to have the drive to change the world if they haven't changed themselves first. So I'm all about empowering the youth. So I do have a few bullet points up that I feel that we have to believe in our youth. If you look at every successful person in the world, there's somebody behind them that has greatly believed in them. So we have to believe in them. We have to acknowledge our youth. So as we're saying all these things about the global goals, as they pick up on the goals and work hard and achieve their goals, we have to give them a pat on the back, acknowledge them, encourage them, cheer them on to keep going. And then the third one is really important. We have to be vulnerable. Because I've failed many times in my life. I don't know anybody who hasn't failed. I'm sure you have, Eglantina, but the main thing is to get up again every time. So every time you fail at a project, at a passion, just remember you have to get up, reset, and restart. It's okay to have struggles and breakthroughs. It's okay to have failures and triumphs. And then the last one is what we're all talking about. We have to be role models. So if we were both not doing what our passions are, really developing into who we are meant to be and what we're meant to be, then we're not able to empower the youth. So actions speak louder than words. So as we encourage youth to pick up all these goals, we have to make sure that we are working towards the goals and also achieving what we're meant to, so that they can see us doing it and also pick up on that.
A lot of some of the young people I know are aware of these issues such as gender inequality and poverty and want to do something about it, but the first step is like, what do you do first? And what did you guys do first, or what can you tell those young people who are in a place where they do want to help but they're not sure what they can do?
Start with your own self. Start with your family. Start with your close friends. Start with your community. Join, go to UN.org, pledge a goal, make a commitment, find out in your local community if there's other organizations you can work for. Join Proyecto Paz. We have a big, wide, highly motivated volunteers around Latin America that has helped us take a culture of peace, a message of peace and of well-being, and score a goal for the 17 SDGs, but especially a goal for all of us.
So some people are already working on the global goals and they don't know they are. That I'm a perfect example, because I didn't get to know about the SDGs until last year when I was at the UN, when somebody invited me to the UN to give that talk on peace and world peace. But looking back, I'd already been working on some of these, empowering the youth, reducing inequalities. I have a second completed book that actually talks about tackling human divisions and also reducing inequalities, you know, teaching medical students, all education. So I feel some people are already working at these and they don't even know that they're the UN global goals. So the main thing is just go, because that's what I'm putting on my social media. Go to the website, un.org, type in SDGs into your search engine and you'll see all the information come up. And then you can see what you're passionate about and just go get involved. There's many ways, many steps on the website on how you can get involved.
They broke down every one of our biggest issues in 17 goals. So as you say, it's perfect. Go to the website or just find your passion and make a commitment. And it has to leave the United Nations. It's not an agenda just for the UN. It's an agenda for you guys, for us, for all of us to work. Which one are you working on?
Gender inequality.
Why is that important to you?
I guess because I'm from West Africa, I'm from Guinea, and a main thing that goes on there is FGM, which is something that applies to many of the goals, whether it's the right to health or the right to education or the right. So that's something I've just been passionate about.
That's wonderful.
Exactly, that's what I'm tackling in. And I'm Latin, I'm a woman in Latin America, and you know, it's no difference the situation of women around the world. And it's harder for us in every sense, from, you know, equal pay, from like the stigmas that you have, from the games you play when you're born and you're told not to do and you can't talk and you're not good and you're inferior. So that's why we use the most popular sport in the world called football, which is still considered a male-dominated sport. You start breaking the conversation from the games you play when you're growing up. And that's how your state of mind is going to be set up. So I think we should start like not being so judgmental and breaking a little bit of those stigma barriers, and that's what we're doing with the media, with the UN, with the youth.
Yes, really creating awareness about the SDGs, because many people are not aware about the SDGs, because people message me and they're like, what are you talking about on your social media? What are SDGs? They don't know. So I think it's just all of us posting more and more now, you know, on all our social media, letting people know there's 17 goals. You can pick one, you can pick two, you can pick all 17 and just do something in your immediate community to promote some of those goals. So we just have to really create awareness. Not enough people know about them. And if people don't know about the goals, then we're not going to be able to achieve them by 2030.
Call to action?
Yeah.
Join us, the Peacemaker Tribe at proyectopazla.org.
Thank you, guys.
Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you.
Girl power. Woo!